My name is Mansher Khera, known as Munch in the BJJ community. I'm a black belt out of Unity Jiu-Jitsu in New York. I've been living here since I was 13. I'm 27 now, so about 14 years I've been here, and I personally feel like New York is the mecca of Jiu-Jitsu. We have some of the best teams in New York. We have, multiple ADCC champs in New York. We have IBJJF world champions in New York, and all in the vicinity of just very small space, in the city. So you could go, this is one of the greatest gyms here, but you can go 10 minutes to your left and you'll find another great gym, and 10 minutes to your right and you'll find another great gym. So I personally think New York is the mecca of Jiu-Jitsu. We've known each other before. I believe we got prepared for, I was purple belt, he was a brown belt. That was when we got really close to each other because we prepared for the Worlds together. And it was just battles every day, and I feel like me and Dylan training together is very competitive because we've known each other for so long that we don't want to lose to each other. I feel like it's a little bit more personal with each other. There's a little bit more shit talking involved with each other, but at the same time it's all fun and games for us. We like to push each other and basically see each other do better, and I think it's just like it's kind of a brotherhood, the way we train. So training with Dylan it's a blessing. I want to get more into kickboxing, and I want to get more into the world of MMA and striking. So in the next 6 to 12 months, I see myself, maybe doing another 3 kickboxing fights. I'm already 3-0 as an amateur. I want to be at least 6-0 before I start thinking about jumping into professional MMA. I would love to be in the UFC one day, and I want to get the UFC belt. But also at the same time, I want to be a businessman. So, there's a lot of big MMA leagues that are coming out in the world, and everybody knows ONE FC is really big. Bellator is doing well for themselves. So, for me personally, whatever is the best opportunity for me as a businessman, I'm gonna choose first. I started competing when I was a white belt, 17 years old. I always knew I wanted to compete, and that's just something that I wanted to do because I wanted to prove that I was the best at grappling. This might sound horrible. It was a white belt mentality, but I already thought I was the best grappler in the world before I even got into jiu-jitsu, So I was so lucky that I did find jiu-jitsu, and I was able to jump in the competition scene. I feel like Unity is the first gym that I've been to it's a very open gym. People here are truly genuine and friendly, and when you are like that, I feel like it brings a variety of jiu-jitsu to the gym, and I feel like Unity is one of the first gyms in the world that I would say has a universal jiu-jitsu. So what I mean by that is that I've said this before, but you'll see all different kind of styles here. Guys that like to wrestle, the guys like to play guard, the guys that are really good at leg entanglements, guys that are really good at back takes. So you get a very good mixture of that, and I feel like you can find any style in this gym. So this is a universal jiu-jitsu gym. I think Polaris is one of the biggest tournaments out there, and I shouldn't say tournament, I should say professional super fight league, because they're not a tournament style, it's more one-on-one style. And I think it brings the sole attention to one competitor instead of the whole tournament style where there's 20 competitors in one division. I think it has a bigger influence in the jiu-jitsu community because you're able to focus on a single person jiu-jitsu instead of spreading it so wide. I think my opponent is very well-rounded. He has a very dangerous game, and he's a very sharp competitor. I've been preparing for him, I would say, for a long time because we have faced each other in the past, so I am familiar with his style. For me right now, it's just about sharpening my own attacks and getting to them before he can get to his attacks. Jiu-jitsu to, the sports like football and basketball, but that being said, I feel like jiu-jitsu is a sport that is for everybody, and in order for jiu-jitsu to grow, I think we need to spread jiu-jitsu. That's what I personally think, because anybody, any age, right, any shape can come in and jump into a jiu-jitsu class and get involved in the jiu-jitsu community. It is very open community. If I got into a fight in real life, I probably would have used my jiu-jitsu as my first line of defense. I'd rather strike. I've gotten into a couple of scuffles, but I've never used my jiu-jitsu on anybody yet. But if I had to restrain somebody, I would use my jiu-jitsu if I didn't want to hurt them. You know, there's times like obviously, you know, if something breaks out and you know, I don't want any parties to get hurt. I mean, there's been a lot of people in my you know, jiu-jitsu life, and I feel like I grew up watching a lot of people, and to be honest with you, what really attracts me to jiu-jitsu is the evolution of jiu-jitsu. So I don't want to say any specific person attracts me to jiu-jitsu. It's more about just, you know, when I see jiu-jitsu growing and I see the evolution and I see new techniques and I see, you know, like my mind being blown is what attracts me to jiu-jitsu. And I just feel like it's never the same. It's always growing and it's always getting better, and that's what really attracts me to jiu-jitsu. After I'm done competing, you know, I do like teaching, I do like helping other people, but I don't know if this is something I can commit myself to fully, so I'm not completely sure where I'm going to go in that route as of now. But that being said, I will definitely be involved in the jiu-jitsu community even after I'm done competing. I just don't know at what scale. Wrestling is a really big martial art in India, I would say, and I got to go out there and train in the mud wrestling when I was visiting back home, and I feel like the MMA community is now just growing in India, and I'm seeing there are jiu-jitsu schools coming up in India, and my goal is one day to be involved in all of that, and I'm going to do that after I'm retired.